day, folks. I'm Mitch Smith. Today we're going to be doing Ozzy Osbourne's Mama, I'm Coming Home. This is such a guitar classic and such a guitar masterpiece, actually. Zakk Wylde does a lot of really cool acoustic things on here, not to mention his great solo work. We're going to start by establishing that we're in the key of E major, okay? A lot of metal is played in E minor. This is in E major, so that gives us a lot of use of open strings and such. So the intro, so if we come to the 12th fret of the 1st and 2nd string, okay, and we're going to bend the 11th fret of the 3rd string a whole step so that we're bending this note to this pitch. It's pretty hard to do on an acoustic, but it happens really fast. Okay, and we need to bend it that far because that is our E major chord. Okay. Okay. Now, moving on to the main riff, or the first part of the verse riff, you're going to need to know the E major scale in a linear form, okay? A lot of us know it, you know, by maybe starting at this E going, you know, and you can certainly do that, but I like to do it in a linear form because that helps your pick and hand out. Okay, so we're going to come to the 3rd string, 9th fret, that's E. That's where we just resolved to. Okay, so we're going to come down and then we're out of frets, so we're going to go on to the 4th string and okay, that is your E major scale descending. If we were to do it ascending, we might hear okay, so we just walk straight down that scale. No tricks, nothing fancy. Just rhythmically, it's kind of, I don't know if you'd call that syncopated, but it's more like. Okay? And he's doing this on a 12 string, by the way, so you hear a lot of tones in there that you're not going to hear on this 6 string guitar. But what we can do is pluck our 1st and 2nd string open between each of those hits. So now I'm playing with a pick, but normally I like to play this riff with my fingers. I'm just a little more comfortable with that. Okay, so the intro and the first part of our verse are the exact same riff. The second part of the verse is going to come up to an A suspended 2. Okay? I'm already here with the A. I'm just going to put my first finger here and just not play this 5th string. So the rest of the guitar makes an E major chord. Now, how do you prevent that A from ringing? You can touch it with this finger. That'll help mute it. But if I'm using my fingers, I'm just going to go. Okay? Now, from there, I'm going to take this 3rd fret, this 3rd string on the 1st fret, slide it up a half step, whole step. Okay? Whole step. And again, each time I'm picking that 1st and 2nd string in between. So here's your entire verse riff. Okay, now your pre-chorus you may want to pick for this. I mean, if you're just using your fingers, of course, I use my fingernails sometime as a pick, but I'll use a pick this time. Now this is where we need to establish our E major scale from the open position, okay? If this is Do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, do. Okay, so we have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E again. Okay, so why is that important? Because all the chords that we're going to use for the pre-chorus and the chorus come straight out of that position. So our 1 chord, our main chord, is of course going to be E. Our 4 chord is going to be A. Our 5 chord is B. Our relative minor, or our 6th chord, is C sharp. Okay, that's the first one that starts the pre-chorus. So A, E. C sharp, minor, A, B this time. Okay, so that's the first part of your pre-chorus. Let's do that again. Now we're going to come to a second part of the pre-chorus, and we're going to come to an A chord. Okay, so that's just A and E, 4 and 1, 4 and 1. But to get to that first A, we're going to kind of walk into it from the F sharp and G sharp power chords. Okay, now then it goes into like a climax. It's walking up to get us to the chorus. So we're going to go. So that just walks up that 5th string. A, B, C sharp, A. Okay? Now, transitioning straight to the chorus. A suspended 2, arpeggiated. Okay? Bring that same idea to a B suspended, what would that be? I think that's a suspended 4. Okay, because it's got the E in it. So, cause mama. Now, this is a really unique thing that happens here. You hear this in music some, but not real often, and not so much in what we call hard rock or heavy metal. But we already said we're in the key of E major, right? And we established the chords that went with that scale, or that key. The next 2 chords are completely out of that key. They're actually from the E minor scale. But when you use them this way, they sound almost majestic, okay? It's going to be C, D, E. Alright? So if you look at that linear, C, B this time. Okay, so the B is the 5 chord, or the dominant chord, so that's why it has that tension building kind of sound. Now, after the first chorus, we have a bit of an interlude, and we're just going to use those 3 chords again. Alright, the next little lick is over those chords again, C major, D major, but what you have to do is you start on the G and you resolve on the G sharp. That's because this G is part of a C chord. And then when you get to E major, you got that note. So that's where that lick comes from. Then again. And then we're just going to hammer on a B. Or I shouldn't say hammer, that's a different thing on guitar, but we're just going to grind it. And coming into the solo. So now, the actual lead solo. What you need to know about this is that you need to put your root note of your pentatonic where the pinky is. Okay? 12th fret is E. Okay? See how that makes it sound major? So that's an E major pentatonic scale right there. But the only notes we're going to use out of that position is this box right here in the middle. Okay, so we're on the 9th fret of the 4th string. And you're going to bend that to the top. It's that whole step bend again from 11 to 13. And then you're going to mute it with your palm. And let the echoes do the rest. Okay, next position. Your E major scale is still down here too. There's a little bit of a linear form here. Have E right here. Okay, so we're going to put the pinky here. Okay, and that's just a little. Does that twice. On the third time. And that's that build-up. A, B, to the C sharp. Okay, so we're going to come up here to this E again. And imagine this major scale. Alright, that's my box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant on this root note. This is the second of the scale. I'm going to bend that a whole step. Okay? Okay, and from there, I'm going to finish the scale. Okay, so check this out. Here's the whole solo. So that's the solo, and from there just goes back into the pre-chorus and chorus again. There is an outro here. Let's see here if I've got a clean channel I can put this on. Okay, and I'm just going to do this on electric, but this is how it ends. We're going to do the same thing we did for the intro, except it happens faster. Okay, there's not any space between the notes. It's just running down that scale. Okay. going to run down that scale. Strum that last E major. Let's do that again with a pick this time. Okay, and that's the end of the song. And it's worth noting that this is in standard, and the actual album, the recording, is actually in E flat. All right. So if you know how to tune down a half step, you're going to need to do that before you practice along with the album version. If you don't know how to do that, there's a link below this video that will take you to a free course of mine that's Guitar Tuning 101 on Udemy. And it'll walk you through the steps to get to a lot of tunings, and E flat is one of those tunings. So I hope this was helpful to you, and if it was, please give me a like, follow my page, and yeah, hopefully I can help you out some more in the future. Thanks.